I'm going to say something in the next 60 seconds that someone in your life should have already told you. Not your friends. Because your friends are in the same situation and don't want to make it awkward. Not your family. Because they love you too much to be fully honest. Not the internet. Because the internet wants to sell you a course or a supplement or a mindset shift that costs $47. Just me, right now, for free. Here it is. You are not still single because you're not good looking enough. You are not still single because you don't have enough money. You are not still single because women are impossible or dating is broken or the odds are against you. You are still single because of something happening entirely on the inside, something invisible, something you carry into every interaction without realizing it. And until someone names it clearly and directly, it will follow you into every situation you ever walk into, regardless of how much you improve everything on the outside. So that's what today is. Someone finally naming it, clearly, directly. Let's go. I want you to think about the last time you were genuinely, deeply interested in a girl. Really think about it. How did you feel the moment you realized you liked her? Be honest with yourself. Did you feel excited and open and free? Or did something tighten? Did something in your chest shift from relaxed to slightly anxious? Did you start thinking about her constantly, replaying interactions, analyzing her responses, wondering what she was thinking, calculating your next move? That shift, that tightening, that constant mental spinning, that right there, is the actual problem. Not your looks, not your height, not the fact that you said something slightly awkward on a Tuesday afternoon 3 weeks ago. The real reason most men are still single is this: they enter every interaction with someone they like from a place of scarcity. A deep, quiet, often unconscious belief that this specific person, might be the one that fixes the loneliness. The one that finally makes them feel chosen. The one that proves they are worth something. And that belief, that desperate invisible weight sitting underneath every conversation, is louder than anything coming out of their mouth. Let me show you exactly what this looks like in real life. You meet a girl, she's interesting, you feel the pull, and immediately, without consciously deciding to, you start managing. You think carefully before you text. You read her replies forensically, looking for signals. You adjust your personality slightly based on what seems to be landing. You hold back your real opinions on things because you don't want to create friction. You laugh a little too hard at things that aren't quite that funny. You agree a little too quickly with things you don't fully believe. You make yourself slightly smaller, slightly more palatable, slightly more whatever you think she wants, because underneath all of it is a quiet, terrifying question you never say out loud. What if she sees who I actually am, and decides I'm not enough? And here is the brutal irony. That management, that constant invisible performance, is exactly what makes her feel like something is off. Women are extraordinarily perceptive, not because they're magical, because they're human, and humans are wired to detect inauthenticity before they can consciously name it. She doesn't know why she's slightly uncomfortable. She doesn't know why the energy feels slightly pressurized. She just knows something is not quite landing the way it should. And she pulls back, not because you're not enough, but because she's never actually met you. She's met the managed version of you. The careful, calculated, please like me version. And that version, however polished, does not create attraction. It creates distance. So here is the actual fix. And listen to this carefully, because this is where most people stop at the surface and miss the root. The fix is not to care less. The fix is to have more. More in your life that matters to you. More purpose. More direction. More things you're building, learning, working toward that have nothing to do with whether she texts back. More genuine investment in yourself, not as a strategy to become more attractive, but because your life actually deserves that investment regardless of who is or isn't in it. Here is the psychology behind why this works. When your life is genuinely full, when you have real goals you care about, real friendships that feed you, real work that challenges you, real pursuits that excite you, your brain stops treating a single person as a solution to a problem. Because there is no problem. Your life is already moving. It already has direction. It already feels like something worth showing up for. You stop walking into interactions needing them to go a specific way. You stop being desperate for a particular outcome. You become genuinely curious about people instead of strategically invested in them. And that shift, from needing to curious, is felt immediately by every person you talk to. The man who has nothing going on clings to romantic interest because it's the most exciting thing in his world. The man who has a full, directed, genuinely interesting life offers romantic interest as an addition to something already good. One of these men is magnetic. The other is exhausting to be around. And the difference has nothing to do with looks, money, or height. Here is the second part of the fix, and this one is harder. You need to get genuinely comfortable with the idea of her not choosing you. Not fake comfortable, not I tell myself I don't care but I check my phone every 4 minutes comfortable. Actually comfortable, rooted comfortable, the kind that comes from knowing clearly that your worth is not a variable that changes based on someone else's decision. That if she is interested, wonderful. And if she is not, that information costs you nothing real. Your goals are still there. Your purpose is still there. The people who genuinely know you are still there. Her answer changes none of that. This is not emotional detachment. This is emotional security, and it is the single most attractive internal state a man can develop because it radiates outward in everything. Your posture, your pace, your willingness to say what you actually think, your comfort with silence, your lack of need to manage every impression. Security does not need to perform. It just exists. And existence without performance is the most magnetic energy another human being can feel. The third part, and this one is the one that ties everything together. Start showing up as the unedited version of yourself. Opinions included, flaws included, quirks included, the parts of you that you currently filter out because you think they might not land perfectly. Lead with those. Not aggressively, not as a test, just as, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Because the version of you that tries to be everything someone might want ends up being nothing particularly interesting. But the version of you that is just, fully, unapologetically, comfortably yourself, that version is interesting. That version has edges and texture and realness that the polished performed version completely lacks. Real people are attracted to real people. Not perfect people, real ones. Here is the complete honest truth wrapped into one place. You are not still single because the world is against you. You are still single because somewhere along the way you picked up a belief that you needed to earn your way into being chosen. That you had to be careful enough, impressive enough, available enough, agreeable enough, that if you just managed everything correctly, eventually someone would decide you were worth it. And that belief, that single invisible belief, has been quietly running every interaction you've ever had with someone you genuinely liked. Coloring your energy, tightening your presence, turning genuine connection into an audition you're terrified of failing. Drop it, not because you've suddenly become perfect, but because you were never supposed to audition in the first place. Build a life that matters to you. Get comfortable with any outcome. Show up as the real version of yourself. And watch how differently the world responds to a man who has finally stopped waiting for someone else to confirm what he should have known all along. You are already enough. You just have to stop hiding it. Drop a comment right now. Did this hit something real? Which part of this described exactly where you've been? Be honest below. I read every single one. And if you want to understand exactly what this looks like in real daily behavior, the specific habits that communicate this energy before you say a single word, go watch the video on 7 habits that make women notice you immediately.